Hello and welcome to Jack in the Book Stack, a booktube channel where I talk about a wide variety of book genres and the bookish lifestyle. In today's video, I have my April TBR for you. These are all the books that I'm hoping to read, hoping to spend some time with this month, and there are a wide variety of genres, and I have big booktube plans too. I'm in the mood to vlog, so going into this month, I have big dreams, big grand dreams of sharing my everyday life with you. Really the bookish lifestyle, what I'm doing when I'm reading these books, what's going on in my life, all that kind of stuff. There's like spring cleaning going on, which I know is really exciting. All these outdoor activities, fun with the pups. There's just a lot. So I want to do a lot of vlogs. So I'm going to start talking about the books that I have video plans for. First of all, I have a carryover book from March that I did not get to, but in my March TBR video, I said I probably wouldn't. I want to do a dedicated reading vlog and annotation guide for Don Quixote. I have the goal of reading 6 classics in 2024. This is one of them that I had picked out, but it's really thick, and so I am incredibly intimidated. I've heard nothing but glowing things about this book though, so I'm really excited to do some research about the themes and writing style, all the elements that make this book a classic, and then coming up with my annotation strategy, filming it, showing it to you guys along with my reaction to it and what this is about. I don't know too much other than it's about this older knight or this older gentleman who is addicted to reading books, and the lines between reality and fiction are really blurred, and he has these ideas of grandeur of himself. Is he crazy? I don't know. I'll read it, find out, and report back to you guys. On a completely different note, I have had this idea for a reading vlog with a theme to it. And the theme is kind of strange, but I just have this idea. I'm so excited. I want to do a reading vlog where I read books about cults. I think they're so fascinating, and there's so many different genres that talk about cults that could be really fun. So the first book that I want to read is actually a nonfiction because I'm trying to do one nonfiction a month. Perfect, right? It just ties in perfectly there. This is Cultish, The Language of Fanaticism. And this one is not necessarily cults that we think of that do like the brainwashing, living like out in the middle of nowhere, like that kind of stuff. It's like modern day cults, how different language we use, different activities like Soul Cycle, for example, have a cult-like following. So I think this could be a cool spin on the cults that we know, like how this applies to every day and probably a wide range of people. I've been looking forward to reading this for so long, cannot wait to dive in. The next cult-related book I want to read for that vlog is Just Like Mother. This one is a horror, I believe, so dipping my toe into that genre for cults. I don't know anything about it. I'm going into it blind, so don't spoil me. Don't tell me. I want to be surprised. But I have heard this is about cults. Just like a thriller I want to read for the cults vlog called An Honest Lie. That one has mixed reviews, okay? When I look on GoodReads, actually some people say it's kind of boring, but it is one that piqued my interest and it has to do with cults, so I want to give it a shot. I'll just DNF it if I don't like it, right? I always have the power to do that. If I do decide to DNF that, or if I just have some spare time, then I want to pick up Sex Cult Nun, which is a memoir that has to do with cults. Also sounds really fascinating and fits into the theme. This is another one that I don't know too much about. When I say it sounds fascinating, it's because I've heard reviews of people saying that it is amazing, but I usually like stop listening or stop reading the review because I don't want to be spoiled for it. But I mean, it has cult in the title, so I mean, how could I not read this? Another reading vlog that I have planned in April is a dedicated reading vlog continuing my Stormlight Archives journey. So I want to read Book 2, Words of Radiance by Brando Sando. I have a series running. I have a playlist, which I can link down below for you so you can catch up if you need to. I'm reading a lot of the Brandon Sanderson books, but specifically in 2024, I am reading the Stormlight Archives, leading up to the newest release in December. So I will be reading book 2, vlogging the journey. I have not decided, and I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. So for book 1, I made it spoiler free. I want to know, do you think I should do my reading vlog of book 2 spoiler filled? I imagine, like, if you haven't read these before, anything I talked about, even in general, in book 2 might spoil book 1, so I don't know if it's worth it to do spoiler free. So do you think I should do book 2 reading vlog spoiler filled or spoiler free? I'm curious to know what you guys like better, especially with such a well-known series that's been out for a long time. I'm really torn how I should do this reading vlog. That's already a lot of video plans, a lot of books to read, and those are thick books. I'm pretty sure that this one is over 1,000 pages, so ambitious, to say the least. Ambitious April. We're just gonna go with that theme. But I have another big ambitious plan. I have a trilogy that I have been itching to pick up. I am so excited. It's been staring at me from my shelf. And so I thought it could be really fun to do a reading vlog for this entire trilogy and tell you guys, probably spoiler free, what it's about, who should read it, what I think about it, the magic system, all that kind of stuff. This is a very long-winded intro. Are you dying to know what it is? It's the Rook and Rose trilogy, which is a fantasy trilogy that starts with The Mask of Mirrors. Isn't that the most exquisite cover you have ever seen? I know we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but it's probably one of the reasons I want to pick it up so badly. It's like how beautiful that is. This is like a Venetian inspired fantasy. So like Italian inspired, which sounds really neat. I don't know if I've read anything like that before. And it involves like a con artist or a thief. At least it starts out as such. I don't know if that carries through for like the whole thing, if there's like a heist, I don't know, but I know it's like a thief or con artist as the main character, which is one of my favorite. Is that a trope or like character aspect? It's like an occupation, a character occupation. I don't know. I love heists. I love the thieves. I love the trickery of it all, the intelligence of it. So those are some other reasons besides the cover, which has me looking forward to this trilogy. So I am going to hopefully, because I'm so ambitious, read these 3 books, vlog it, show you what's going on this month while I'm vlogging it. Hopefully I can read in like some cool places and have lots of cool insight to share with you all. That's what BookTube's about. Those are all the reading plans I have for April that have dedicated BookTube videos for. So now I have a whole slew of other books, because even though Libby tells me that the waitlist for an audiobook is like several months long, and I try to strategically request these holds, they have all been coming due at the same time. So a lot of them came in like a tidal wave in March, and I had to deliver later. And I think later is here. So I would like to grab these audiobooks in the month of April. First of all, The Reformatory is a horror book that has been making its rounds on BookTube. Really excited to check this one out for myself. I hear it's pretty scary. It's also pretty long, especially for a horror book. I think it's over like 400 or 500 pages. So I think audio might be the way to go on this one. It's one that I've really wanted to buy, but I haven't seen it for sale because it's a newer release. And look at me go. I am trying to be responsible and not buy every book as I see it, trying to use my library. So The Reformatory is an option that has become available that I chose Deliver Later for, that I would like to read in April. A Libby hold also became available for Such Sharp Teeth, which is a werewolf novel. So it's a horror book, but I'm wondering if this is going to be cozy horror. Don't tell me, don't spoil it for me, but that's my expectation going into it. So you'll have to check back in for my April reading wrap up to see if I did read it and if it is cozy horror. But that is what I want to find out with this one. And I got the audiobook. Even though I own this physical copy, I am getting the audiobook to pair with it to help immerse myself and probably read it a lot quicker. which is a similar story with The Dead Romantics, which is a paranormal romance. I have seen on the bookish socials floating around with wildly mixed reviews. I've seen a lot of my BookTube friends DNF this, or they absolutely hated it. But then others, like, it was a 5-star. So I'm really curious where I fall in this. I think the biggest paranormal romance that I read was Layla by Colleen Hoover, and I loved it. So that's what intrigued me initially about this book, just the whole idea of paranormal romance. Okay, maybe I've read some like super smutty paranormal. I think this is more contemporary paranormal romance. So I'm looking forward to checking this out, pairing it with the audiobook so I can always multitask with my spring cleaning. See? Adulting. The Only One Left by Riley Sager was published in 2023, so the hold list on Libby for the audiobook was super, super long. My friend Andy was nice enough to gift his copy to me, so I'm planning on immersively reading this one as well. I think because this one is a thriller and it has what I think will be like an isolated, spooky setting, like this isolated house and this really creepy situation, because we have our protagonist who I think is going to live in this house and take care of this person who has a deep, dark secret from their past and a dark, dark reputation. And so I think that like dark spookiness would be really cool audio as well. So this is one that I'm going into it because I'm just curious about the artistry of the audiobook paired with the physical read. My audio hold for Natural Beauty also came in recently. This is a horror book, and I picked this up because I think it has social commentary on the beauty industry or the beauty standards of society. And I recently just read Rouge, which was similar with the commentary. And so I thought it would be really interesting to compare these to each other, especially because I just finished Rouge. I wanted to read these two like close together. And again, this was horror, so I'm really anxious to see the creative spin that it takes. Horror with social commentary is one of my favorite things that like makes my bookworm heart go pitter patter. Remarkably Bright Creatures is a fiction, but I think it is like magical realism because our main character develops a friendship with an octopus, I believe. But I've heard this was very beautifully written, and I think it's like more literary fiction with that octopus friendship element. And so I'm expecting beautiful writing. I'm expecting emotional. I want to be moved. I think this could be really good. It could go either way. Sometimes they're so weird that I'm like, no. But I have to check this one out. And thankfully, Libby is there for me with an audiobook. After all of that, if I have time and if I feel compelled to do so, then we have a much anticipated new release in April, and that is The Book That Broke the World. This is the follow-up to The Book That Wouldn't Burn, and it kind of ended on a cliffhanger, so I kind of want to see what happens next. So I kind of want to go to the bookstore and pick it up as soon as it's released. And just that cover is one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen. Book one was gorgeous too, but like with this blue, I need it. I need to display it. I need it in my life, even if I don't read it in April. So this one is a big, big if, because I imagine just like the first one, it will be kind of long and take me a little bit to get through. But it is an option there if I feel so compelled to pick it up. Those are the April reading plans that I have, at least for right now. I think courtesy of Libby, but I also have any of these books on my shortlist TBR that I could pick up at any time because reading is supposed to be fun, right? BookTube is not a job for me, so I can just go with the flow and go with my mood. I can pick up any of these. I can ditch a reading vlog idea if I'm not feeling it. I can switch it up, and I encourage you to do so as well because reading is supposed to be fun. There's nobody grading our book reports here. It's just to hang out in this community, make friends, talk about GoodReads, suggest other things, suggest other books. So that's what I always like to remind myself, is to just be a little bit more flexible with the whole BookTube thing so it remains fun and I enjoy reading so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope all of your reads in April are 5 stars. I'll see you in the next video.